Hi, everybody. I'm Mori, and that's in bottles.
Hello with the things in the bottle and the hello.
It's no good. I can't get it open. We're trying to open a camera. That's really loud. There's gotta be a way to do it, though.
Maybe I have to date the camera.
Maybe I have to be the camera. I have to date the camera. I have to lick the camera. I have to be the camera. Was it? Did we get the
Sunday night!
Alright, what?
Sunday.
What was the date?
It's on the front page.
Reward letter.
Or, wait. Hang on. Stop.
I'm listening.
Hold the phone.
I'm holding
Now
it.
give the phone to me.
Here you go.
What about the passport? Maybe it's his birthday.
Oh, maybe.
His real birthday.
Yeah, we got it right.
Yeah. I know. Okay. November 28th, 42.
Well, I'm sorry, why I'm like that.
November 28th, 42.
Alright, 28th, 11th, 42.
November. Am I supposed to put in a date here? No, it's the wrong way. Go back a year. November 28th,
8. Right.
42.
I feel like Goku here. Really?
Fuck! What other dates are there?
There's nothing you have to click or anything?
I don't think so.
Oh, there you go. What? What?
What are you, my sweet little morsel? A puzzle? There are more puzzles in this room than in the entire fucking game.
That did it. What's this? It's pretty tattered, but it looks like it was a postcard. Also, I can make out a signature on the edge. Michael McGrath. Wasn't he...
And now it's ours.
It's mine now. I take the torn postcard. Why on earth would anyone want to stuff half a postcard from the hotel manager into this toy camera? I suddenly get a hint of a presence other than my own.
Oh no, it's Will.
But it's already too late. I feel the muzzle of a gun pressed up against my back.
Fuck!
There's nothing I can do other than stay still in amazement. I hear a cold voice from behind me say,
What are you doing here?
I don't think that's the right voice.
I think it's Will.
Yeah.
And what are you doing here?
Oh, God. Just having a look at your room. Do you mind? What happened to fucking Charles, you asshole?
Oh, I dealt with him already.
Oh, God. I needed you to find out exactly who you were.
I talked about his pride and family, and he just ran away crying. What were you looking for in here? Speak up!
If you want me to talk, how about putting the piece down?
We're not in the 70s anymore. We don't call them pieces.
I'm a reasonable man, sure. Why not? I'm curious.
The pressure on my back disappears.
How did you get in here?
The door was open, so I just came in.
You're going to have to do better than that.
I was curious.
Unless, of course, you want me to put a bullet in you.
It's the truth. This place was already open. Dylan left it that way after he came out.
Dylan? What the hell?
He said you'd asked him to take care of something in here before moving out. He used a spare key to get in. But being the numbskull he is, he left without locking up.
Funny. I don't remember asking him to take care of anything.
Maybe not, but it doesn't change the fact that he was in here. If you don't believe me, take a trip down the hall and ask Charles. He saw it too. He'll tell you exactly what I just did.
Let's assume I believe you. For now, anyway. Maybe Dylan was...
Was what?
No, that can wait. The more pressing issue is what to do about you. I think I'll have you answer a few more questions. Let's start with what you did while you were sneaking around in here.
You've twisted my arm.
Ouch.
You sure you want... Ow. You sure you want me to say it all out loud, though? I mean, I think I've just about pieced it all together. Your secrets and such.
Don't kid yourself. There's no way you'd know what I've been doing here.
What?
Can you repeat that?
Nice try. I'm on to you. Nice try. I'm on to you.
Oh, you are you? Well then, let's just see how much you think you know, shall we?
For starters, I know what your real job is. You've been earning a pretty penny too, by all accounts.
And what is it do you think I've been doing to earn all this money?
I know plenty more than that. I know all about the lies and deceit too.
Oh? And just what do you think I've been lying about? Objection!
Objection! Simple. You faked your identity.
What?
I've got your number.
You've got nothing, that's what. You don't have the first clue who I am.
Where did the banknotes come from? Where did the banknotes come from?
Banknotes? Where did you come across something like that?
You know damn well. In the safety deposit box. I looked in the safety deposit box.
You did what?
You did
What? You opened the safety deposit box in my closet?
Yeah.
I couldn't even figure that out.
What's the matter? Surprised I got into it?
There's no way you could have gotten that thing open. The only person who could possibly open it is me or the intended recipient.
Oh, you fucked up. Your real name is...
Wait, hang on.
Yeah?
He wouldn't have known the... If it was just put in, he wouldn't have known the password himself either.
No, he probably knows the password because he probably is the one that drew it on the mirror.
Dylan probably did.
No, I don't think... I was joking before. I don't think Dylan has anything to do with this. But we'll see.
Your real name is... Will
Walter
McGrath.
White.
Walter
White.
White. Will McGrath.
Ridiculous. You already know my name.
Come on, do you take me for an idiot? Your name's Will McGrath.
Can you actually hear yourself? Have you got any proof to back up your outrageous claims?
Yeah.
Uh,
How about your passport? How did you get that?
Take a look at this.
What's this? Oh, shit!
That's my passport! Oh, damn it.
Right, it's your passport. So, your real name is... Will McGrath. That's your real name after all.
It is. Well done. That's me, Will McGrath.
Relevance?
And you're only giving me more reasons to shoot you.
What are you trying... Yeah, kinda, actually.
What are you trying to trade?
I'm sorry?
What are you trading in exchange for the banknotes? It must be something fairly significant for the price you've been paid.
Save your breath. I've had enough of your damn prying.
It's not gonna be your day then. My prying's just getting started. You've been pretending to live here in this
You're
apartment.
only making his...
Oh, shit. Get out of here.
But your real job means you have to creep around secretly at night, am I wrong?
You'd be wise not to cross me any further.
You started this conversation, remember?
Maybe it's going to take a bullet to shut you up after all.
Yeah, I'll take a rain check on that.
Yeah, what are you gonna do?
You can shoot me later. Besides, I doubt you've got the balls to shoot me right here in this place.
That's what you think, isn't it?
Well, shit.
Shit.
Think about it.
I'm curious after all.
If you shoot me here, how long is it gonna take the other residents to come running? And I'm sure you aren't looking for any more publicity.
Brave words for someone in your position.
So anyway, now I've blown your cover, Mr. McGrath. What to do about it? Luckily for you, I'm not gonna rat you out to the police. If you must know, I only snuck in here to find out something I've been investigating, in the hope of unveiling the truth. And I think you can shed some light on it.
I see. Well, Mr. Hyde, would you care to share it with me? What exactly are you looking for, and what do you mean by truth?
That's easy. I want to know about 25 years ago. Once I found out you were Will McGrath, I realized that you were connected to the murder that happened 13 years ago.
Me? Connected to a murder. And how do you figure that?
Why does he, like, wag his finger, like, so sassily?
Because you're the victim's son. Well, you didn't find the body. Because you're the victim's son.
Ooh.
No, there was no red.
I don't know about that. I'm afraid not.
The victim of the murder 13 years ago, Kathy McGrath, was the manager's wife.
McGrath's a common enough name. Just because we share it doesn't mean I'm related. You seem to enjoy jumping to conclusions.
There's no jumping here. It's all based on evidence I have.
If that's the case, please show me. Can we really... Does that really...
Oh. Well, who's Michael?
Who is Michael?
Take a look at this.
It's his father.
It's...
I opened up the toy camera inside your case. I literally opened everything in your room. You should hire me. The postcard I found inside before the name Michael McGrath bore the name Michael McGrath. The same name as the husband of the victim, Kathy, 13 years ago. He was the manager of the hotel at the time. Why have you been hiding it?
Now that you've shown me this, I suppose there's no sense in denying it. You're right, Mr. Hyde. I am her son. Kathy McGrath, the victim of the murder 13 years ago, was my mother.
It all makes sense now. Damn, I never would have guessed you were related to the victim. No use in keeping quiet now. You may as well talk.
What do you want me to say?
Tell me everything.
Everything.
No. I want to hear exactly what you hope to gain from all this. Exactly what you hope to gain from all this. I think we're having a misunderstanding.
I have absolutely no idea what you're saying. I don't speak English. I live here under a false name. I'll grant you that. I'm a guy who does a job I'd rather the other tenants didn't know about. The same guy whose mother was murdered in the past. How's that for the truth? So now you know everything. What do you have to say?
Any last words?
Wow, that was almost half convincing. You think I was born yesterday? There's
I have no idea
way
when you were born.
There's no way in hell you've told me everything.
Oh!
Last chance. Spill it. What have you been doing in this building? What were you trying to gain by using me? Time for you to cut the bull and tell me the truth. Why are you living here in this building? What are you up to?
Nothing. I'm just a tenant. I'm living here just like you are.
Bullshit!
You expect me to believe that? You're looking for the culprit. This place has memories for you. You're looking for... He's investigating. You're looking for the culprit.
The what?
The case surrounding your mother's murder was never solved. So you're here to try to find out who the culprit is.
Maybe I am. What of it? Some of what you're saying is close to the truth, but you're not quite on the money.
Mr. McGrath, do not get cryptic with me.
I'm not searching for my mother's murderer.
I am my mother's murderer.
I decided to live here after I found out who did it.
Oh.
Is it Max?
Mr. Hyde, you and I have shared very similar experiences. Both of us have had a parent murdered. Your father was killed 25 years ago, and my mother 13 years ago. Both cases remain unsolved.
What are you getting at?
However, though our paths are distinctly similar, we have adopted different approaches. You were once a detective, yet you chose not to look into your father's case. You were even living in a place that may still be able to shed light on things, but do nothing. You're not even trying to find out the truth, and that's the reason I'm so angered by you. And the reason I chose to point you in the right direction.
Oh. Are you for real? What gives you the right to order me around? So the order sheet was your doing.
That would be telling.
Come on, you told me this much. No sense in stopping here. Which direction were you trying to point me in?
That's simple.
And what did you mean when you said just now? You said we had distinctly different approaches to our respective pasts. Tell me what you meant by that.
It's all about something that I possess and you don't. A burning desire to get even with the person who is responsible. I'll not rest until the person responsible for my mother's death has been made to pay. And since the justice system has failed in its attempt, I must get revenge.
Shit, dude. So who killed Kathy?
The main person responsible is already dead,
George.
but their accomplice is still around.
Mags.
Their accomplice. Are you referring to Mrs. Patrice?
Or it could be Marie Vervet. No, she's too young.
No.
Are you referring to Mrs. Patrice?
Right, first time. I moved in here in order to be in a position to take my revenge on her. I originally intended to crush her throat with my bare hands. But then something appeared and got in the way of my plan.
Shit, he was actually gonna kill her?
Damn.
Fuck, dude.
That's why he sent the message over to her. Maybe.
Yeah.
Possibly.
What kind of revenge are you planning?
Wouldn't you like to know?
Pitiful. Just pitiful.
Now, Mr. Hyde, that hurts.
So you were just gonna use me to get your revenge and I'd be none the wiser? I mean, you knew what I did on the side, so you sent me the order sheet, right? I found all the evidence I need to pin it on you this very room.
What evidence might that be?
The letter set.
Here's your evidence.
This is just paper. This is
Paper!
It was you, wasn't it? You sent me the order sheet.
Congratulations, Mr. Hyde. Another reason for me to kill you.
So what kind of revenge are you planning?
I want her to own up to her crimes and show me how repentant she is.
Then do it yourself. Don't involve me in your dirty work.
You still don't get it, do you? It's much more fun to have somebody else do it.
That evil fucking smirk.
Damn.
You're sick, man.
Spare me your moral posture. You took the order willingly. No doubt you've been having the time of your life roving around the building, reliving your glory days. And it didn't take you long to realize something earlier. Either. Fuck. You realized that if you found the Starlit Scar... Starlit Scar. You realized that if you found the Scarlet Star that went missing 25 years ago, you'd be able to uncover the truth behind your own father's murder too.
And how the hell did you know about that? What interest could you possibly have in my dad's murder?
I heard about it the instant from 25 years ago. Somebody working in the hotel at the time told me.
Who told you? Are you referring to Frank?
Raver?
Are you referring to Frank Raver?
No.
Fuck.
Frank?
Am I wrong?
You clearly haven't understood a thing, have you? I can see I've just wasted my breath talking to you.
You have?
Oh, fuck me.
Well, that's just an immediate death.
Whatever. We'll skip it after this.
What got in the way of your plan?
I learned that my mother's murder was triggered by the incident 25 years ago. And I learned that that was due to the involvement of an organized crime syndicate.
A crime syndicate?
Yes, and not just any. One that you're very familiar with. None other than Nile.
Shit.
What did you just say? Nile were involved?
They were indeed.
How the hell do they come into what went on here?
That's something I can't help you with, I'm afraid. All I know is that their involvement in the incident complicated matters. Mr. Hyde, there's very little reason for us to continue this conversation. It would simply be a waste of both of our times. I thought Kyle Hyde would have had a lot more backbone than this. You might as well just get out of here. I have nothing more to say to you.
Maybe you don't, but I do.
Just drop it, will you? You don't really want to anger me any further. I suggest you get out and never show your face around here again.
Remember, Kyle. You weren't supposed to be in here, man.
Seems the only thing I'll gain from pushing harder now is a bullet. Maybe I should have listened to what he said and get out of here.
And that's a game over because I got one answer wrong. I'm sorry. Alright.
At least shoot me.
Just shoot me. Just kill me. That would have made a much better game over. Oh, what?
Oh, how far did
How far back are we?
Look at our inventory.
Michael McGrath, your father. He told you, didn't he?
Yes, that's right. My father told me the truth before he passed away 3 years... Oh, okay. He helped me understand exactly what happened on that day 25 years ago.
Okay. What got in the way of your whatever? What got in the way of your plan?
I learned that my mother's murder was triggered by the incident 25 years ago. And I learned that that was due to the involvement of an organized crime syndicate.
A crime syndicate?
Yes, and not just any, one that you're very familiar with. None other than Nile.
What did you just say? Nile were involved?
They were indeed.
How the hell did they come into what went on here?
That's something I can't help you with, I'm afraid. All I know is that their involvement in the incident complicated matters.
What happened 25 years ago? What happened 25 years ago?
A safe was broken into, much like the one you broke into mine, on the premises of the Hotel Cape West.
It looks like someone's walking in the footsteps of their father and will suffer the same fate.
The item stolen was known as the Scarlet Star. The person who stole it was your father.
What? Zoom in.
That's not... It's true. My father died 3 years ago, right after telling me everything he knew. It was the first time I was able to see the entire picture.
So you didn't know before then?
No, my father and I never really saw eye to eye. I left home as soon as I could. After that, the only time I met my father was at my mother's funeral. Later, he collapsed due to an illness, and the next time I saw him, he was dying. I hadn't seen him in 10 years. He was in a weakened state and in need of my support. Before he had drawn his final breath, he spoke to me. He told me he was sorry, and that he had something he needed to say to me. He went on to inform me that a man called George Patrice had killed my mother. There was no evidence, but he knew for a fact it was him.
Is he seriously trying to tell me that Mags' husband killed Kathy McGrath?
He then thrust that torn old postcard into my hands and told me something else. That everything started 25 years ago when the Scarlet Star disappeared. This is the last thing he said. That there was a man who stole the Scarlet Star from the hotel safe 25 years ago. He tried to tell me the name of the safecracker. He struggled to speak the words, but never made it. His final breath has been exhaled. He died a wretched and lonely old man. He wasn't the way he wanted to go. It wasn't the way he wanted to go.
What happened then?
After spending the time to look after my dying father, I had a sudden change of heart. Although previously I hadn't really cared for him, these new emotions changed that. Almost without noticing, I was clasping his cold, lifeless hand, making a promise. I promised I'd get to grips with the truth he imparted to me.
Get to grips with?
Yes, I'd find out everything and bring it to light. Make sure that all the circumstances surrounding my mother's death are known. I used the partial hints that my father had left me with and started to piece it together. I researched the building, the key players, and I learned that George Patrice was already dead, but that didn't deter me. I had to refocus my efforts on his widow, who had turned the hotel into apartments. Once I had uncovered that information, things got very interesting. I learned that the son of the person who cracked the safe 25 years ago lived there too.
But how did you make the connection? How did you know that the person who cracked the safe was my dad?
Do you really want to know? Well, here goes. The reason I knew was that he was in the same business as I am. I have my own very thorough means of finding out things like that.
He has his own Rachel!
Oh gosh.
And that's what you used to determine Niall's involvement too, right?
Precisely. It also proved useful when it helped me learn about the jobs you did behind the scenes. My methods were infallible. Chris Hyde's son lived in this very building, oblivious to the events of the past. It was priceless, but made me think if I had found a way to make you start looking into things.
And that's when you decided to send the order sheet.
Right again. But it seems I underestimated you. Before you unearthed the truth behind Patrice and the Scarlet Star, you discovered the truth behind me.
Didn't you think it was bound to happen? What will you do now?
It may sound a little boring, but nothing. You found me out so easily after all. If I attempt to delve any further, I fully expect Nile to come knocking on my door.
Nile?
Yes, they've clearly left their mark on this building. If I even so much as try to uncover the facts behind their operation, I'm a dead man. Please don't misunderstand, Mr. Hyde. I'd like nothing more than to make them pay. But I've realized the consequences, and I think it's time for me to release my grip.
And you can live with that, can you?
Certainly, as long as I'm alive, there's always a chance I can know the truth someday. That's the promise I made to my father. But for the time being, I value my life above all else.
I see.
The real question is, what are you going to do now?
As long as that order remains valid, I'll do what I always do and track the item down.
An answer that does you very credit.
It's my job, after all. And the reward that waits for me at the end is more than enough to keep me going.
As it should be. In any case, take this.
Strange time to be giving gifts, wouldn't you say? I take the torn postcard.
One more thing I forgot to mention. When my father thrust this into my hands, he told me that this was a vital clue to discovering the Scarlet Star, and that Mr. Hyde is all I can tell you. And he fades into nothingness as he never actually existed.
Will leaves the room.
Something tells me we're going to find it at night then.
Let's leave the room. Let's get the fuck out of here.
Charles is fucking dead.
Huh? Where the hell were you?
Is everything okay, Monsieur Hyde?
Yeah, just peachy.
I was worried for a moment.
You took the words right out of my mouth, kid. Did you manage to get away okay?
Yes, oui, just about. He came back while I was keeping watch. I didn't want him to see me, so I quickly made my way back to my room. Sorry.
Don't worry. It was quick thinking. Besides, it's not like I could have hidden in his room.
Could have.
I guess you're right.
I found out some useful information, though. You know the murder victim from 13 years ago? Turns out Will's her son.
He is?
He's not planning on coming back here anytime soon, either. It's probably best if you just forget all about him. He's not the kind of guy you should be associating with in any case.
I see. Thanks for the advice. I'll steer well clear of him.
Charles moves away.
From the apartment.
So I finally discovered who sent me that order sheet. It was Will White. I never would have guessed he would have been behind it. All I can think about is finding the truth behind what happened 25 years ago. I think I know what I need to do. I think it's time I gathered my thoughts about all that's happened.
Alright. Let's end off the chapter.
December 25th. Tony came to my room and gave me Rex's notebook. Written inside was a reference to Condor and a man called Jack Green. It said they had both disappeared in 1967. Rachel kindly looked into the name Jack Green and found out that he was...
A reporter.
Right.
He's partnered with Rex Foster.
Jack Green worked as a reporter for a publication called Los Angeles Beat. Rachel discovered that he had unearthed certain truths about Condor and had been murdered before he could unveil it at all publicly. After returning Sydney's record to him, we had a chat. This led me to want to talk to Mags regarding her late husband. Her husband, who was killed 13 years ago, went by the name of...
Michael.
Wait.
No, George.
Yeah, we're talking about the victim, right?
Yeah, George.
Right. Mags' husband's name was George Patrice. He was the proprietor of several successful eateries around town. Mags went on to explain that he was killed during a robbery that took place 13 years ago. Once Mags and I had concluded our business, Rachel contacted my pager. I got her on the phone, then looked into the photos from the album on the 4th floor. I made the startling discovery of a certain person in one of the photos. That person was... Mags. Right. It was none other than Mags I discovered in one of the photos. It was in a photo showing a party dubbed Scarlet Star. In it, she was wearing the necklace she still wears today. She looked a lot younger in that picture. From a photo in the 8mm film that Charles showed me, we noticed that Will White from room 306 appeared in both. Charles agreed to help me when I decided to go and get a closer look in his room. Thanks to the contents of the safety deposit box and the postcard inside the camera, I was able to discern a certain truth about Will. What was it I found out?
That he was using a false name.
Right. I found out that his real name was Will McGrath. Turns out he's the son of the late manager of Hotel Cape West, Michael McGrath. The postcard and passport I uncovered inside his room proved it. After Will returned to his room, I put him on the spot to get some straight answers. He confessed to having been the one behind the mysterious order sheet I'd received. He went on to explain that the reason he sent it to me was because...
he wanted to avenge his mother's death.
Right. The reason he sent me the order sheet, it was because he didn't want his mother's murder to remain unpunished. He also shared a new startling revelation with me about 25 years ago. The person who snuck into Hotel Cape West with the intention of cracking the safe and stealing the Scarlet Star was my dad. I could only stare dumbly at Will when he told me. The truth that Will shared with me didn't reveal everything, but at least another one of this building's mysteries has come to light. Why am I so keen on uncovering the truth behind what took place here 25 years ago? Thanks to him, I now have an outline that puts things into better perspective. Now I know for certain, if I search for the Scarlet Star, I will find out the truth behind my dad's murder.
What if Dylan is part of Nile?
Maybe.
In addition to those, I've also begun to consider something. That there's even more to this whole mystery than meets the eye. I have to uncover it all.
And that's the end of the chapter. You can now read the events of this chapter in the Last Window novel. What if books actually work that way?
What do you mean?
Like an autobiography. Imagine like an autobiography that like forever adds to it as you live your life.
Oh gosh.
That'd be pretty dope. Confoin. Yeah.
Then we wouldn't even need to worry about witnesses.
Yeah.
We could just consult everybody's book.
Yeah, that is true.
It would blab.
The book would blab. It would be the blab book.
December 26th. Chris Hyde. A person from the past.
It's Frank. I'm calling it.
Frank killed.
The truth of 25 years ago.
Chapter 9. Only 2 chapters left, boy. And then we're finally done with this game.
Really 11 chapters?
10.
Oh, okay.
December 26th. Today is the last Friday of the year. And that's where we're going to end it today.
Yeah.
Guys, if you like this video, like it, comment, subscribe if you want to see more videos like this one.
And don't forget to hit that bell notification if you want to see when the next episode of Last Window, The Secret of Cape West, comes out. Watch our other series like Doki Doki Literature Club, Hotel Dusk Room 215, or Death Stranding. And guys, question of the day. Who are you, and who is your daddy, and what does he do?
What does your dad do for a living?
Put that shit in the comments below. I'm Bottles.
I'm Mori.
See you next time.
Continue.